Okay, it's a new day. It's currently the 29th of June at 11:25, and I have some crazy things to show you. So on the 10th of June, I ended the day on 11,000 users for my second full day of my app. We're now on to the third day, and something crazy is happening. Let me just show you. As you can see, they have 10k active users. That's today. We currently have 670 people active in the last 30 minutes, and the time is 11:54, which means I'm going to beat yesterday's 11,000 user record within the next hour. And potentially, that means that my app might get over 20,000 users just today, which is A, crazy, and B, very, very strong proof that the strategy I'm taking to actually grow the app is working. But I just thought I'd give you guys an update before I go to the gym. Again, such a crazy amount of growth in such a short amount of time, but I'll definitely update you if anything happens.
Just pausing the video for 1 sec to tell you that at the end of this video, I'm going to be dropping an exclusive resource that is completely for free that's going to help you dramatically when it comes to growing your apps, so stay tuned.
Okay, the time is 1:23 a.m. and the third full day of the app just got wrapped up. Now this day was very different than all the other days because while we hit a new all-time high for traffic, we also encountered a huge problem that caused a lot of work to be done. So very simply, when you're building an app, a lot of people say, build the app first and don't worry about how it performs at scale, just get the basic version done. I personally don't believe in this, so much so that when I was going into the launch for this app, I made sure to allocate the resources correctly. The database is on its own server, the front end and back end is on its own server, and both servers have plenty of resources. So much so that we could easily handle 150k plus users a day. Now I thought I planned for everything until this one big thing happened that caused a lot of upset, especially with the users that were using the app, or so I thought. So very simply, at different points today, you can see on our real-time graph, we were getting over 700 users in 30 minutes. Now with this level of traffic, we did sustain a major problem. That major problem was the internal analytics both for the users and the admin dashboard wasn't working correctly. For context, when it was meant to be inserting around 100 entries, it was only inserting around 15, which was creating highly inaccurate data, and it was a big problem to solve. Now the dilemma I had was, do I push logs whilst the traffic is so high, or do I wait for it to die down then push logs to try debug the problem? Now the issue is that when you have that many users on your app, even a few minutes of downtime can cascade, and that can bring in a lot of negative feedback. Now luckily, somehow as I'm saying this, I still don't even believe it, literally no one noticed. Now what I thought was going to be a simple fix ended up taking over 5 hours. Not because it was a complex problem, not because I was unable to find the problem, but simply because the approach I was taking was not properly prepped for this level of scale. Because obviously when you're building an app, you don't expect your internal systems to fail when it hits that load. You just presume the system I built will work regardless of the load, but I was wrong. So once I actually found the problem, I pushed it and everything began to work again. Now despite the analytics being accurate for today, we had Google Analytics to tell us how many users I got today, and the grand total amount of users I got was over 20,000 users, which is directly double of the amount I got the previous day. So far in this series, I have doubled the traffic every single day. Now, I don't anticipate that this is going to happen the following day, purely because I can see how the traffic behavior is. It's crazy to think we started off with a half day at 500 users to 2,000 users to 10,000 users to over 20,000. Now in terms of revenue, we are doing way better than I thought we were going to be doing at this point, purely because of the influx of users we're getting, and I am very, very excited to see how this app levels out and if we can continue to grow it. So it's been quite a few days since I've sat down and actually talked about the app. Now a lot has happened in that time, so I'm going to break it down for you. I posted my first YouTube video as part of this series of building and scaling this app. It actually did decently well, which I'm happy with, and on that day I actually posted the end result of the video of my app getting over 13,000 users, and I literally woke up 6 hours later to people saying it's fake, the results aren't real, and essentially hating on the post and on the YouTube video because they think these results aren't real. And also they wanted to know the name of the app, which led to more hating. Now I understand that the results do seem abnormal, but with this strategy I took to actually scale it, in my opinion these results are very achievable. So much so that I'm actually going to break down the daily traffic counts all the way from the first half day, which I documented on video, all the way till today. That way you can actually look at the traffic and understand how this app's behaving, because there are some very important takeaways from what I'm about to show you. So let's go do that. So as you can see, we have the live analytics up for the app. We currently have 353 users in the last 30 minutes, and here's the graph for the traffic. If we go over to Thursday, you can see there's 564 active users, which I documented in the last video. Then on Friday, it scaled up to 2,500. Around this time, like I referenced, we were just onboarding users, and that was our first full day. Then we had a huge spike up to Saturday, which is around 13,200 users. And for context, that's literally over 11,000 more. then we had another spike up on Sunday to 22,000 users, which is around 10,000 users more. Now, just to go ahead and break down why this actually happened, which I believe is contributing towards the idea that these results are unachievable. Very simply, the way I target users to come onto my app is through niche targeting. Niche targeting is very simple. It's when I simply isolate a niche and reach out to people within that niche that I know would greatly benefit from using the app, which means all the traffic are coming from the people we've reached out to, and we as an app are essentially at the mercy of the current when it comes to the traffic this niche generates on a daily basis. So for example, if you look at Sunday, we did very well in terms of choosing that niche and the traffic that overall went through that niche on that day. Granted, we don't have every single potential user that could be on the app, but we do have a decent amount to be able to bring in these results. Now moving on to the next day, we have Monday, which is around 14,000 users. Now this is a prime example of being at mercy of the current for the niche. Because there's less traffic on weekdays for this niche, obviously the users went down to 14,000, and also the leftover traffic from the previous days obviously died out, which is why there was such a drop from 22,000 to 14,000. Now you're actually going to see this trend follow on throughout the days, because on Monday we have 14,000 users and we dropped to 11,700 on Tuesday. Then from 11,700 on Tuesday, we dropped to just under 10,000 on Wednesday. And now you can actually see the graph go upwards, which is a prime example of niche targeting. On Wednesday, 9,400, we go to Thursday with 10,800, and Friday, which was just yesterday, at 17,000 users. Now I truly do hope this clears up how my app is actually performing, because if I wanted to be disingenuous, I could easily just show this section of the app growing and skip out this part and then skip to when we go back to the weekend and potentially the users go up. But like I said in another video, I want to be completely transparent with you guys, showing you every single step of the journey so it can help you too. Now in terms of next steps to actually grow this further, here are the things that I have in mind. Firstly, just simply bring on more people from this niche. Secondly, expand to different niches and introduce them to the idea that I know they will greatly benefit from. And thirdly, there's a second phase of this application that we're internally planning, and this will essentially add additional infrastructure on top of the existing app, which will definitely allow us to dramatically increase our users very easily. And I'm super excited to get into the nitty-gritty about that once the development actually starts, because believe me, I'm going to be walking you through development, onboarding new users for those new extra features, and overall just showing you how the app grows. And just before we go ahead and wrap up today's video, I want to introduce you to something that I've been working on. And had I have had this when I first started making apps, I truly would have accelerated way quicker throughout my progress. I just launched the Founders Community on Discord for completely free. In here, you're going to get access to exclusive resources, myself to ask questions, channels to go ahead and freely promote your startups and get advice. And overall, this is going to be a free community where I can post really detailed resources that I can't post on YouTube because I'm optimizing for attention, and also other resources that's going to help you on your founder journey. And I actually just posted the first resource in there, and it's on the topic of how to formulate the perfect message when you're outreaching to people, because I believe this first impression does count when you're talking to people, and this video is going to help you understand the actual psychology that goes into it. And if you can nail this down, you will be able to convert users to your app way easier. So I'm going to leave the link down below. Once again, it's completely free, and I hope to see you in there.